Hey everyone, today we're going to talk a little bit about drift roses. Drift roses have been out for several years, but in a lot of ways they are underutilized in the garden. A lot of people are afraid of using roses, probably because they know that traditionally old-fashioned roses are not the easiest plants to grow here in the southeast, especially in Florida with our sandy soil and our extreme moist, rainy weather events that we have. The drift roses, however, are a completely different animal than your old-fashioned your mother's roses, your grandmother's roses, however you want to think about it. They are completely different in that they have been crossed with types of roses that are more resistant to our extreme heats and our extreme moisture events that we have here in Jacksonville. I'm sitting in front of the red drifts. They are a beautiful, low-growing, densely formed shrub rose that you can incorporate into just about any garden here in Jacksonville. You can get them into a formal garden. They will mix very well with a formal garden, but they also look very well in less traditional and more tropical or informal types of garden styles. They bloom almost all year round. You can say that about very few shrubs here in Northeast Florida, but they can bloom year round. I've seen them bloom every month of the year. But there are a couple simple things that you will need to do to keep them blooming. I wouldn't call them a high maintenance plant, but they're definitely not the lowest maintenance plant. But for those of you who like to have color all year round, especially in a low growing mounding form, this will definitely be worth the little bit of effort that it takes to keep them looking fantastic. So the first thing that you need to remember, feed them. I would feed them with either a slow release fertilizer on a quarterly basis or a water soluble or liquid fertilizer more often, at least once a month, maybe twice a month. Keep them well fed. Also, during the first couple of years, as needed, give them heavy cuts. Heavy pruning is going to benefit the way that they look. So they will get some wild branching because they put up their flower spikes. You're going to get sometimes these really long branches. And if left unkept, that can kind of give it a sprawling, kind of chaotic kind of form where it's growing in a multiple of directions. But by pruning it regularly while it's young, you're going to be promoting more branching, which is going to get it thicker and denser. So I recommend at the end of winter, cut the entire shrub back heavily, even by a third or 2/3 back down to the ground, and let it regrow. Feed it at that point at the end of winter. So beginning of March is a great time to do that, end of February as well. Cut them back heavily to little nubs, fertilize it, and they'll bounce back very quickly. These can grow in full sun and part sun. They can grow in morning sun. They can grow in afternoon sun. They can grow very well at the beaches. I've seen them in dune sand thriving. These guys can do well in every situation except for a place that's going to be holding water for long periods of time. They really like to dry out well, so put these in hot, dry places where you can keep them irrigated, but never in a low lying area where water might sit for a time after our heavy rainfall events. The other nice thing about these drift roses is that they come in lots of different colors. We have soft pinks, we have coral colors, we have the reds, we even have some bicolors with pinks and whites, and there's also a yellow form, which is not as common, that you can use in your garden. If you have ever thought about trying roses, the drift roses are probably going to be your easiest selection, your easiest choice here in Jacksonville. Come check us out. We got plenty in stock this spring, and we will continue to keep them in throughout the summer.